Hey guys, welcome back and welcome to phase two of the rest of your life, building your business. This is where you begin to learn and build a greater understanding around social media and business development. Phase two is a deep learning that extends beyond what is here. You need to seek out the answers that you require for your business, right? You do not need to become a master in social media and business development, but you have to have an understanding of it and the requirements so you know the direction that your business is going. So please take your time with this phase. Do not become overwhelmed, but do not skip it because some concepts here may be foreign to you, right? This is where business growth occurs and it is out of your comfort zone. Even if you're not going to use social media for paid advertising and you're going to grow organically, you need to know it. You need to know it even more if you're going to utilize social media to grow your business from a paid advertisement standpoint, right? One thing here that I have to know is that social media is very much a kind of like a warm up the engine kind of thing, right? The algorithms like to see consistency. They like engaging and active content. If you went out in minus 25-degree weather to start your car that has not ran in 6 months, you're probably going to have some trouble starting the car, and overall, the car is going to deteriorate, especially if you start it and you drive it immediately. It's going to hurt the car versus the car that gets run daily, gets run gently, and gets to warm up for a bit after it starts. That's what your social media is, right? So when you feed the social media machine and you treat it well, it's going to treat you well. Okay. One point here that I want to make, right, is that you need to simplify this process, right? Choose no more than two things that you want to consistently post on and learn the rules and regulations from them. Okay. When you focus on those, you're going to become great at doing that first. Once you get an understanding of how these things work, it makes it even easier to move on to the next one, right? Things you want to consider and dive into that you may not think about. What camera angle do you use to film for IG Reels, YouTube, Meta, Facebook, right? Lives, ad creation, right? Some things you need to be in horizontal mode and some things need to be in vertical mode. Some show up better when you hit the button. There's a button on your phone, on your camera, on iPhones that says 4K, right? Some things show up better when you film in 4K. What are the posting requirements and rules so you do not end up in social media jail? Things such as music and topics are heavily scrutinized, right? You cannot make claims or guarantees for weight loss or a promise that somebody's going to achieve X with your product, right? You cannot promise somebody that they're going to make $1 million. Okay. How often should you post? When should you use Reels? When should you use stories? How do you connect Instagram to Meta or to Facebook, right? Social media is such a fast changing landscape, and to give you an exact overview here, the requirements would be impossible and could absolutely lead you astray. I'm telling you, by the time I'm probably finished filming this here, the rules are going to have changed again, right? So please do your due diligence and update yourself with the exact requirements that you need to run a robust social media platform that gets your voice out there, right? I cannot stress enough, the use of a proper marketing company is going to pay off in dividends, okay? A proper marketing company is going to have an affiliation with these platforms that allow them to have regular updated access. They've got a liaison assigned to them. They know what's changing well before we ever do, right? If you don't know what's changing or what's working in your social media, and there's massive changes there that can have an impact on your business, right? So doing things properly the first time is of such great benefit to you. Like I said, choose the two platforms that you want to show up on first. Instagram and Facebook are connected, and if you're comfortable with them a little bit, by the switch of a button, you have them both running. You could treat those as one platform. But there's there are distinct differences between the two and how people consume content. It is very intricate. And like my pursuit point had said, learn the rules and regulations, right, of each platform because they're so much ever changing. And to try to give you an exact explanation of it would never do it justice. But dive in, learn for yourself what works, what doesn't work, how people love to consume your content. And keep in mind as well that there's a difference between posting on your business page and posting on your personal page. Also remember that prospects are going to look at both. So if somebody doesn't know you and you're trying to develop that trust with them, they're going to look at both, right? So if you were preaching on mindset or on one platform, on your business platform, but you're complaining on the other about something, your trust and credibility is going to be gone. So just keep those things in mind. Keep people engaging. Show people you're human. Show people you have a funny side to you. Show people that you can be silly. That's going to get them to like you as well, right? And you should know now from the psychology of persuasion that liking is a big thing for people. Okay, so when people like you, they're more apt to engage and do business with you. Your content delivery. Once you know where you're going to show up and you start to get a feel for it, you're going to decide how the ways in which you want to show up, right? There's no right or wrong here. You can show up in the form of written content. You can show up in the form of video content. Okay. Master one and move on to the next. Some people are great writers and hate being on camera. Others thrive in front of the camera and hate to write. Challenge yourself as you grow to get out of your comfort zone though, right? Whatever you choose, also, and we're going to cover this here in a little bit, but whatever you choose can be quickly duplicated for, the other option, right? So if you do video, it's easy to transcribe it and put it over to written. When you do written, it's easy to sit there and record it into video, right? So choose whether you're going to utilize written or video content as your primary source and then make the other your secondary source. Please do not abandon the other one altogether. Give yourself time to learn it. Get in front of the camera. Get comfortable being uncomfortable, okay? Choose one that you want to utilize, but then look at the feedback, right? And I'm going to talk again about this a little bit later on. Try something in a written format and try something in a video and see what one engages people a little bit better, okay? Next, where people get stuck, they're like, okay, I got to post on social media. Well, what the hell am I supposed to be posting about, right? What topic areas do you want to post on? And how do they extend beyond your sub-market of your Dream 100? Okay. When you go into phase 3, you're going to go back into your Dream 100 and you're going to learn a little bit more about getting into the sub-market. But when you post on a topic, think about how your dream customer is going to take this content and how it can help them. Does it speak to their pain points? What types of strategies will you use to create topic posts, right? There's no magic pill, right or wrong way to do this, right? There's only trial and error, and that has to start with you just going out there and getting a feel for everything, right? I believe in the early stages on, as you're doing this, it's perfectly okay, again, to throw a wide net out there, talk about anything and everything, as long as it's in line with your belief system, and see what gets people engaged. I recently, a few weeks ago, at the time of this filming, ran a post about the shape of a cloud. I took a picture of a cloud that looked like something to me. I got 25 comments on that post. It was just something silly I put out there. Versus other posts that I've made that were like really mindset focused and I thought were really engaging and thought provoking, they get 2 likes. It's all about trial and error, right? Keep in mind as well as you're posting, you cannot be all things to all people. Some people may not like things you have to say. Some people may troll you. They become keyboard warriors. Do not let them live in your head rent free. They don't belong there. Do not let them knock you off your game. You choose whether it hurts you or not. Okay? Any negative comments made are a reflection of them, their current awareness level, and that should never, ever take you away from your mission and your vision that you have so deeply locked in. Social engagement. This goes back to contacting, okay? I want you to commit to commenting on so many posts a day, and I want you to commit to liking so many posts a day. You have your platforms down, right? You've done these things, but you have to continue to extend the contacting habits, right? Engaging with your audience shows them that the platforms that you are that you're actively using these platforms, right? When you begin liking and commenting, people are going to see your content more often, and it just takes time, right? But if you put a post out there and somebody makes a comment about it or has a question about it and you don't answer it, you're losing trust. Everything you're working so hard to have. So don't lose that trust, right? You cannot do it today and be gone tomorrow and come back next week and then take a few weeks off and show up in a month from now. It just doesn't work that way, right? Get on there, start liking people, start today if you haven't yet, and just you have to do these things, okay? If you're wondering where to start, what you can post on, dive into the coaches toolbox and start to pull out essays from them. Those essays in the toolbox, right, could give you content for like 6 or more weeks. Take part of an essay, start a conversation around it, discuss it on a live event, do a live reading of the essay, write about them to a deeper meeting that's going to engage readers and followers, right? Like I said, there could be months and months of content within these essays, right? So here's an example. There's an essay called Applied Faith that you have. It's by Napoleon Hill, and in this essay, he covers overcoming fear, and he describes the 7 fears: poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, old age, loss of liberty, and death. In each one, he goes into detail about each fear and how to break them down. You could easily generate 7 weeks of social media posts on this alone, covering 1 fear a week, and then going into greater detail in each one. You want to expand it even more? Cover it once in written, cover it once in video. See what engages people better, okay? I hope you're catching on, right? You don't have to be a genius to do this. You just need to be willing. You need to be creative. You need to get unique, right? When you do that, you're going to be successful, right? The content you choose can be as engaging or not as engaging as you want it to be, right? So just like pour into it. When you take something, you're going to take the time, put effort behind it, put your enthusiasm behind it, put your personality behind it, right? Get in there, get creative. And then, like I said before, engage with the people who engage with you. If they have questions about it, if they're commenting on it, respond to them, like their comments, right? Try these in video format, try them in lives, try them in written. I know I'm being redundant here, but I need to get this point home. Like, there's no perfect formula, right? You must watch and seek feedback from watching the results and what it is that you're doing. Okay? Repurposing your content. Anything you do, if you make a video about something, it can easily be transcribed and then tweaked a little bit into written content. If you write a blog, it's there for you to read and create video content on, right? They are interchangeable, right? Your content is absolutely meant to be repurposed and to be done in so many ways, right? Longer videos as well. You can have snippets. Like, I could create a 5 or 10, 15, 20-minute video, and you could pull out multiple like 15, 20-second snippets from them that can be turned into reels, right? Capture those, right? Written and video content can be made into your next ad, or at the minimum be used as a framework for them. Like, recently I was watching one of Delyn's Master Your Mindset pieces that she had created. And in her Master Your Mindset, there is a phrase in there where she says, as a recovering control freak, I was responsible for everything that has happened in my life. Sorry. As a recovering control freak, I was responsible for everything that has happened in my life. I hit pause on that video. I had to capture it. To me, it was pure gold, right? For a future ad. As a recovering control freak, there's a hook. Are you a recovering control freak? Are you responsible for everything that's happened in your life up to this point? People who are control freaks are going to look at that and go, whoa, that's me, right? Like, that's what hooks them in. Again, when I say it's pure gold, that's solely my opinion, but the only way to actually find out if it's going to work is to incorporate this into our strategy and to test it out. You never know, guys, as you're creating this stuff, you never know when those moments or things are going to come out inadvertently out of your mouth and when they can be reused again and again and again, right? So the options here to repurpose them and use your content are endless, right? And I know I keep talking, I've said the word evergreen a lot. If you don't know what evergreen is, in a nutshell, evergreen content is something like what I'm doing right now for you guys. This is evergreen content. I don't need to come back and refilm this anytime soon. I might choose to do it a month from now. I may choose to do it a year from now. As my awareness level grows, as I'm like, hey, I learned some new stuff here from phase 2 that can't wait to get in front of people, I might come back and refilm it. But the purpose of evergreen content is you've created it and it's there to reuse over and over and over again. Okay. And the better you get at it, and this is why, you can do evergreen or you can film things live over and over and over again. Early on in this journey, film things live. Get used to doing it over and over and over again, because that's what's going to make you get better at it every single time. Okay. Lastly, or not lastly, but a couple more points here, your emails, right? Your coach's toolbox is full of emails that can be utilized for yourself. Get into that toolbox. If you haven't, start looking at what is there, begin to download and save these emails. Like, guys, we have written these for you. We know they work. Take them, copy them, rework them, put your little spin on it. Okay. Work with your VA to put it together. Work with the marketing team to create an email series, right? They're there to help you get started so you do not have to spend endless hours, time, and money trying to do it yourself. As our emails grow and expand, so is your toolbox. And I tell you what, like, we watch the analytics of our emails. We know what's working. We know what's not working. We know what people are opening, what they're clicking on. You guys are going to get the best of the best as we create this. So many people get so many emails in their email inbox. Emails get deleted immediately without ever being opened. But then there's that one with that magical headline, that hook that captures your attention. And maybe there's a preview of the email. Your curiosity clicks to open it. And inside you find a journey and a story, and there's an offer, and you buy it. But hang on. You just deleted the last 99 emails that person sent you. I know I found myself doing this. I'm sure you have found yourself doing this, but this is exactly what your prospect's going to go through with your current email list and as you build out your email list. People are going to ignore so many emails, but then there's going to be that one piece they absolutely love, or that something captures them and they open it. So please do not underestimate the power of email. I have to drive this point home here too at this point in time. Utilizing a marketing team is going to help you expedite all of this work. It's going to prevent you from making mistakes, time and money. So whether you're using millennial hours or you have your own, please utilize a marketing team when you have the ability to implement that into your business. Okay. And I'll say here, like, if you have a growth package, now's the time to upgrade to the pursuit package. You're going to get so much value out of it. Your sales training that you're going to get. If your sales training took you and allowed you to close one more sale a month, within 2 months, it's paid for itself. If your marketing brought in 5 more leads a month and you sold one of those a month, within 2 months, it's paid for yourself, right? Get out there and please utilize the things that are going to support your goals and your vision. Remember though, take everything one step at a time. Facebook and Instagram, right? They're connected. It saves you time, but you have to dive in. You have to learn the ins and outs of these, right? And for future reference, as you go, if you're going to expand beyond an organic way to grow your business and you're going to put in money to paid advertising, you should plan to set aside at least 10 to 20% of that for marketing. I believe 10% is a good starting point. You can learn from learn what's going to work. Marketing needs fine tuning. It needs time to take hold. It needs time to warm, like the engine needs to warm up. And it's a lot easier to adjust and correct mistakes when you've spent a little and not a lot. So that's where I think 10% is a good starting point. As you dial it in, as you're figuring out what's working, as you learn how to, learn what your cost per client acquisition is, you can invest more into it. Committing up to 20% back into the marketing efforts, ensure you have steady, compounded, continual growth into your business. Okay. That's it here. Please go through your phase 2 checklist. If something's missing, take your time with this. There are no shortcuts. There are no shortcuts. If you try to take a shortcut, you're just going to end up getting stuck, right? If you're looking and I got to go up and over this mountain, I think it's going to be quicker to drive around it. You might get 3/4 of the way around the mountain and find out that the road is completely shut down and that the only way to get to where you need to go is to go back all the way to the start to go up and over. Okay. I hope that analogy makes sense to you. The checklist for phase 2 is quite lengthy. Continue to do your mirror work, continue to do your affirmations. Know that persistence and consistency is going to be your recipe for success. Remind yourself that you're a 7-figure coach. Remind yourself that you're awesome. Remind yourself that you're creating freedom in other people's lives. You're creating freedom in your life. And that with this work, you're just going to become absolutely unstoppable. So keep being awesome. Little kind of sneak peek into phase 3. When we move on to phase 3, what phase 3 is really focused on is revisiting phase 1 and 2, making sure that the habits are instilled, making sure nothing has fallen off. But please, knowing that there are some new stuff you're going to learn in phase 3, so don't skip it thinking you can get ahead, because I did drop some new stuff in there for you. And I will see you when we do that one.